welcome back to Talk Miley to Me. I'm Molly,
And I'm Becky.
and we're here today to talk Miley Cyrus to you, specifically Miley's album Can't Be Tamed. We're doing a deep dive episode on Can't Be Tamed today, which is very highly requested.
Y'all have been beating down our door for this.
Yeah, like just when we thought, oh, we could push it back another week, nobody cares. We found out that our listeners do care, which is great. But
No,
y'all held us accountable.
I can't even believe that there's one person asking me to yap about anything, let alone a album by Miley Cyrus. So like, it actually means
It's
so much
true.
that you
Care
like
to
have
hear about it.
requests, yeah, and that you care. So
Well, I feel like Can't Be Tamed is such a like fan favorite.
is it really?
Yeah, for sure. And we'll get into it. But first, thank you guys for tuning in to our last episode, which was with Lorianne from Out of Context, Hannah Montana.
It was so fun.
It was like our first guest we had on, and I feel like way over a year for sure.
A long time.
A long time. And the episode performed well, and everyone seemed to like it. So thank you guys for tuning into that. What else? There's been so much that has actually happened that I'm looking forward to our next regular episode to just yap about.
Oh yeah.
So
Just
stay
like
tuned for that.
small little things, small little bites, but it'll be a whole meal.
It'll be a whole meal for sure. Okay, let's dive in to Can't Be Tamed, Miley's third studio album.
Yes, get your scuba gear on. We are deep diving.
Deep diving. We're going underwater. You might need earplugs or nose plugs, not earplugs, unless you're really worried about your ears, which some people are. Jack Antonoff.
If you're sensitive.
Did you see all that?
No.
The T. If you did see at the VMAs, Jack Antonoff was getting a lot of heat because Katy Perry was performing and he had earplugs in. But he said he just cared about his hearing.
Of course.
Anyway, so that's what this just reminded me of. Anyway, Can't Be Tamed is Miley's third studio album, released on June 18th, 2010. And it was with Hollywood Records, which was her final album with the label. And Hollywood Records was like the Disney Channel record label. Like they're the ones that pushed out all the Selena Gomez stuff back in the day, all the Jonas Brothers. They had everyone signed to them that worked at Disney Channel. And the album was commercially successful. It debuted at number 3 on Billboard 200, which surprised me kind of. I honestly thought it was going to do worse. I feel like even though it's a big fan favorite album, I don't feel like the GP, the general public, really bought onto it like they did with like Bangers or even her last. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like there wasn't any big moments for like a general public type of space for
There's like so many album tracks that are just album tracks that the general public does not know. So I am actually also surprised to hear how high that got. It seems like it used to be easier. Do you think that that's probably true?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like definitely streaming made it different.
Yeah.
I feel like we were still buying CDs, I think, around this time.
Or like, buying on iTunes. Like, there was no streaming. So I think that probably like, put more into the pool, because it's like we talk about like Hannah Montana and all those, like they all were like so high up in the rankings, which is crazy and funny to me because that would never happen these days, no matter who it was.
Yeah, it would just be very difficult for sure. The main producers on this album were John Shanks and Rock Mafia, and John produced The Climb. That's like his most famous song he's ever produced. And he's worked with Miley numerous times. I think we talked about him on previous deep dives with like Breakout. He did a lot of work there. He also worked with like the Jonas Brothers and Selena Gomez, that whole crew. And then obviously Rock Mafia were frequent collaborators of Miley's leading up to Can't Be Tamed. They dabbled with her with like the See You Again remix on Breakout.
Right.
So she's very close with them. And then I didn't know this, but apparently Rock Mafia even produced some Hannah Montana songs.
What? It has to be like Hannah Montana Forever.
Who said?
What?
Who said? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, Rock Mafia. I cannot hear Rock Mafia without it literally in Rock Mafia and
For
Can't Be
real.
Tamed.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So she kind of had a long relationship with them. Um, I thought that we could definitely watch, of course, a video to get us into this album. I did some research and I found some clips that would be great of her just like talking about the album and what she's excited for. And something to note is a lot of them all had like the same theme. She did a lot of press back in the day, a
Yeah.
lot of press. As we saw with the Time of Our Lives EP, she did so much
Yeah.
for that
Yeah.
little thing. A lot of the similar themes were, to put it in summary, she doesn't really listen to pop music. She's different. She listens to rock and roll, but she does pop music because she loves to dance and she wants to make songs she can dance to because she loves to go clubbing and dancing.
Okay.
She didn't say clubbing, but basically that's what she was saying with this album.
So here we are in 2024. Nothing has changed.
It's true. Yeah. She definitely still listens to, all the old men of rock and roll, I feel like.
And I fully believe that that's true.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't just saying that to be cool. She wasn't just saying that because she knew that that's what the media wanted to hear. Like, that's true. And I think that we can, like, see that that's true through her whole career.
Absolutely. What else did she say? Obviously with Can't Be Tamed, this was kind of her like breaking away from Disney. So she talks about that a little bit in a lot of these press interviews, as this is her being mature, acting like a 17-year-old, because she got a lot of backlash with this album.
Scandal that this was.
The scandals. And honestly, as we go through these tracks, like when we get to Can't Be Tamed, that's a whole topic we can talk about, because the public was like, you're not allowed to get older. Here's a little clip of her in Spain promoting Can't Be Tamed.
Not Spain.
I know. She literally, and this is something we'll also get into, but with this album, she definitely didn't spend a lot of time in the United States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good for me, because I think every album has been, it's almost like a little bit of therapy. You can just get out what you think and what you feel, and I think this is the most honest the record of mine has been, and I've definitely learned a lot and gone through a lot. And I think that this record shows a different maturity and me in a different light, but it also is still me and the people that my fans can relate to.
Miley!
She talks a little bit more about it.
World is lacking and what it's all about, and a few songs on my new album are about that. I have one that's called My Heartbeats for Love, which I wrote for my best friend, who is also my hairstylist, who is gay, and I wrote it for him about how, people can be very judgmental. So I think love is kind of like the, morals that I have that I put into my songs, and I think that's really important. And telling people not to discriminate and not to judge and just be open to the world.
Period. Anyway,
see what I mean? And I said this last episode, like, she's always been the same girl. She's always had the same values in her heart, and always, like, there are so many themes that carry on throughout all of her different eras and throughout her different albums. And Absolutely. This is just more proof of that.
Yeah. So she wrote and began recording the project, this album, in late 2009 while she was traveling internationally for her Wonder World tour, and it completed in early 2010. And so since she was on tour, the majority of the album was actually recorded while she was abroad. And so John Shanks would fly out to London frequently when she was over there doing those shows for the recording sessions. And then he would return to Los Angeles to finalize the material, because she was booked and busy.
Yeah.
Booked and busy. She co-wrote, this is actually very exciting to say, she co-wrote 11 out of the 12 songs on the album. The only one not being hers was the cover of Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Wow, girl. Okay.
Yeah. So that was very refreshing. As you guys know, when we did our, Time of Our Lives EP, she did not write any of those songs. So this is definitely her most authentic album to date at this point.
Yeah.
She said that with Breakout, but obviously the jump from 14, 15 years old to 17 is huge.
Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, Molly, I just want your, like, general, before we, like, dive in, your just blanket statement of your feelings about this album.
Yeah, so in this day and age, so it's hard because I could think of this from two ways. When it came out, my thoughts versus how I feel now. And I will say, here I am now with everything else we have in her discography, I don't come back to it as much as the other ones. I'm not gonna lie, I don't. There's a few songs, and we'll talk about them, that I do like a lot, and I'll go back to. Every now and then I'll be like, oh, I forgot about that album, because it's just not. We did our album ranking in our YouTube video, and I don't even feel like this was very high on that album ranking, just compared to everything else she has. It's not an album I frequently revisit, so I don't think about it a lot. But I know when it came out, it was like, it was that girl. Like, it was the move. It was just so different. She was scandalous, Can't Be Tamed. That was like the perfect choice for a single. The lead single for this. It really represented the entire era well. But I just think, yeah, she has a lot more albums that are just higher in ranking for me. But I do appreciate it for what it is. I think it's the perfect album of that like transition out of Hannah Montana, which is kind of what it served.
Yeah. No, I'm so glad you said all that. My thoughts are exactly the same. This is an album like I rarely reach for. When it first came out, I honestly, I don't think I ever made it past Can't Be Tamed.
No, that's track 2.
Well, and by that I mean I only listened to the single, and I don't think I ever even came to the album. And as someone who has a podcast about Miley Cyrus, I'm embarrassed to admit that there are like a couple songs on this album that I had never heard of until like 2 years ago.
Yikes.
Like, I don't think that until like very recently I've actually listened to it top to bottom.
Yeah.
So don't come for me. But that being said, I have come to hear those deep cuts, and I do think that they are like really, really, really special. But yeah, there's only like a couple that I go back to now, which we'll get into. I think that it was like exactly what you said, like great for the time, and it was like a great transition piece. But I think that the transition piece, there's like sounds of it that I was just like, oh, she was like really trying to figure something out there and to see if it would work and blah, blah. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, for sure. It's really track by track for me.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and dive into the track list.
Okay.
Because we have a lot to talk about. So track number 1, Liberty Walk.
It's a liberty walk.
It's a liberty walk.
So this is what she said about the track. She said she wrote it for women that feel like they're stuck in abusive relationships, but it's a dance song. So you think that must be kind of a sad ballad, but it's actually a party song. It's about breaking free. Yeah, this is one of those, like you said, it's like, I don't know if it transferred into what it was supposed to be. Like, I don't know if the end result was what it was supposed to be.
Right.
It seems very much everywhere. And weirdly enough, though, like, she did I think this was one of her favorite songs off of the album when she released it. She talked about it a lot. And even on November 23rd, 2011, she released a video, and it featured a remix version of it by Rock Mafia. And it features new footage of the Occupy movement that spread from Wall Street to other areas of the world. So it was like, I feel like this video that she released with Liberty Walk was like her first jab at like, making real change out in the world, like putting her, I guess, power to good use. I mean, of course we can talk about the Friends for Change and all of that Disney Channel shit, but this was one of her own, like, I want to do this because I believe in it. And I don't even know what the Occupy movement was, probably because I was how old in 2011?
Right.
But I looked it up, because we got to do our research. The Occupy movement, its prime concerns included how large corporations and the global financial system control the world in a way that disproportionately benefits a minority and undermines democracy and causes instability. So I read that as she's going after like big power. She's going after big corporations.
Got it. Now that you mention it, I kind of do remember that being a movement, but like I said, I didn't care.
I was so young.
Yeah,
unfortunately, yeah. What are your thoughts on this song?
Well, I would have taken it that it's like, I don't know. I literally thought it was like a Liberty Walk from Disney.
No, same.
Does that make me stupid?
Same. No, because that was kind of what this whole album represented. Oh my
right.
gosh. You know what? So I probably thought the same way. Yeah, no, because it kind of mirrors Robot a little bit to me, which we'll talk about later on the album.
Yeah.
It's like it's a Liberty Walk, like GTFO, Disney. I'm an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go out here and be crazy. Yeah, no, I guess it had, and she talks about it. She wrote it for women that feel like they're stuck in abusive relationships. I was like, damn, girl, that's deep.
17-year-old Miley, okay.
Yeah. So this was one of those confusing tracks for me. I felt like there were so many different places it could have went. What's your favorite lyric off of
first one right out of the gates. Don't live a lie. This is your one life.
True.
Don't live a lie.
I mean, I really do like the lyrics of this song. I think it was just the production that had it lost on me.
And you want to know what? I think that's my problem with most of this album.
Yeah. And you want to know what? As much as I love Rock Mafia, she outgrew them really quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My favorite lyric is it's a Liberty Walk, feeling your heart again. Feeling your heart again, breathing new oxygen. Oh,
yeah.
Feeling your heart again?
Feeling your heart again? Yeah.
Actually, oxygen?
Actually, that's nuts.
That's nuts. I don't know if I've ever felt that before.
I actually definitely have.
Aww.
Yeah. No, and I could like think about it and like I could think back to how I felt before I could feel my heart again, and I could like cry thinking about how sad that is.
Yeah. No, it really is like a deep lyric. But it's with this poppy, and that's how some of this is. It's like so deep, but it has the production is just crazy.
And because look I literally didn't even like that didn't hit me until you just dramatically did a reading of it rather than singing it in the poppy Rock Mafia
with the
poppy dancing. Yeah.
Track number 2 is such a good one. Who Owns My Heart?
Oh. See.
They did a good job with this one though.
Mafia. Yeah, they did.
We were just talking so much shit on them, but this is actually a really good one.
Yes.
No wonder they put their name in the beginning of it. This is one they wanted to actually be recognized for. So Who Owns My Heart was released as the second and final single from Can't Be Tamed, and the song was written about the feeling that a club's environment can lead someone to believe that they are in love with someone else, like that they're feeling them, but it's really just the music, you know?
Because 17-year-old Miley knew all about that.
She did. I mean, she was
but she did. But
she did. Really did. And I instantly think of that dude from Victorious. What's that guy's name?
Avi or something?
Yeah, we butcher his name. Avin.
Yeah, that one.
Yo, that's what I think of, because what was that? Yeah, this song holds a special place in my heart, and it always will.
This is one of my ride or dies of Miley's discography.
I totally agree. It's just like it's so timeless and never goes out of style. Like they should still be bumping this at the club. And
they should still be bumping this at the club.
It did not get the attention.
No, this is like what the clubs are made for playing.
Absolutely.
Like what? This is what this song is written for.
And what's crazy is it was released as a single, but I don't believe it was released in the US as a single. I think it was only in like Germany or overseas, which
Really?
kind of explains why it didn't do very well,
Yeah.
because it really didn't do well in the United States. Like I don't remember people really talking about it at all. Like
I
they were
don't
Can't Be
either.
Tamed.
And to be honest, I don't think that many people would even recognize it or know this song.
Agreed. Yeah. Um the music video.
The
The
music
music
video.
video. That was a very raunchy, very cool music video.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, the same guy that directed this music video, Robert Hales, also directed Can't Be Tamed.
Oh, okay.
The Can't Be Tamed music video. Yeah. And it was filmed August 6th through the 7th in Michigan. And what's really fun about this is like the outfits, like her looks were giving. It was definitely giving club
Oh yeah.
vibes.
Oh yeah.
Her in the bathroom with like putting the lipstick on and the heels. Yeah, I come back to this song a lot. And I'm pretty sure in like 2022, a couple years ago, she performed this again. And she also released that like visual with it. So yeah, 2020. Miley released a visual for the Who Owns My Heart video for the iHeartRadio Music Awards Festival. And then she released it on YouTube. And that was everything, because I was like, wow, she performed it, I think right after she performed like Heart of Glass. I think it was that same performance. But she did such a good job. I think so. Because she had the visual on the back and she was like in bed. Do you remember the visual?
Yeah.
But she did so freaking good. And also about this song is back in the day when it was released, there was a remix that was released with it that I am obsessed with. It was the Static Revengers Controversy remix. I don't feel like you've seen this.
No.
And so I knew you would say that. I uploaded, we can watch a little bit of it, because it's not even the remix that I'm in love with. It's the visuals. It's like her in front of a laptop. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me.
Yeah, just roll the tapes.
Aren't the vibes vibing? Have you ever seen this?
No.
Yeah, it's like such a vibe. Such a vibe. Anyway.
That's literally her in her bedroom on the laptop. I'm obsessed with it.
This was Brat.
Yes.
That was Brat.
That
was Brat before Brat.
You are so right.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Anyway, just had to mention that because if you know, you know. That was an iconic moment.
No, that's iconic.
Okay, what's your favorite lyric from this song?
No, it's probably like the exact theme of the song when it's I like you now, but is it real by the time we say goodnight? I don't know if this is right.
True.
Because like you're in the club and you're talking to a boy and you're like, I'm in love, I'm getting married. And then you go home and you're like, ew. He texts you the next morning and you're like, why? Oh, is this not universal? Oh.
No, I feel like we've maybe all been there at some point.
No, it's like, yes.
Yeah.
The club and the music do be making them look and act nicer.
This is Violet Chemistry's younger sister.
For the visual listeners, I didn't say anything because my jaw's on the floor.
She was gagged, yeah. I also forgot to mention, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you get your podcast, you can do that. You can do that. But if you go to YouTube, you can watch it and you can see the videos we're playing and you can see the visuals that I put in.
Too.
You can see us jaws on the floor whenever that happens. Just FYI. But if you're into just listening, you can also keep doing that too.
Keep your eyes on the road if so.
Yeah, if you're driving, just you can listen. Everything we play you can listen to. Okay. Track number 3. Oh wait, I need to say my favorite lyric. Okay. My favorite lyric is when like the music kind of slows down and she says, and it hits me like a tidal wave. Are you feeling me, or is the music to blame? That was kind of like the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that little brief moment. It adds the song a lot of depth that I enjoy. Okay. Track number 3.
Rock Mafia.
Can't Be Tamed. You killed that.
For those who don't know me, I can get a bit crazy. Have to get my way.
We get 2 Rock Mafia intros in a row on this album. This was the lead single. This is the title track. This was her
the drama.
This was the era. She could not be tamed.
Yeah.
And she wanted you to know.
This is just the perfect title track, the perfect single, the perfect everything for everything that she needed in this time.
Absolutely. And like, it's funny because I feel so strongly about it like you do. Like, this was the best lead single that she could have picked for this album. Like, absolutely, she crushed it with the lead single. But it's not like my favorite song off the album. Like, it's not what I always go back to. Like, do you agree?
Same.
Like, I like it.
I love this, and this is like...
You always go back to it?
Yeah.
Wow. See,
yeah,
I'm just so enthralled with Who Owns My Heart that I always just go back to that if I'm looking for like a...
If I'm looking for this era, this is the song I'm in.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also feel like at the time that it was so overplayed. And with a lot of her singles, I just don't always go back to the singles as much because they get overplayed.
Yes. And so I was literally thinking that. I was driving home listening to it again, and I was thinking about what my top 3 would be. And I'm like, no, actually the single, Can't Be Tamed, has made it into my top 3 for sure.
Yeah. Okay. It's a good song, though, I will say. According to Miley, Can't Be Tamed describes a desire to break out and experience freedom, obviously. And how they chose for it to be the lead single was that she had 4 meetings throughout Europe, and Miley's manager at the time, Jason Maury, presented the album Can't Be Tamed to representatives from Universal Music Group. The representatives confirmed what Hollywood Records in the United States has already decided, was that the track would be released as the lead single. And then on the week ending June 5th, 2010, Can't Be Tamed, the single, became the week's Hot Shot debut by entering and peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. So this was one of her singles that really didn't do... I mean, number 8 is still great. Don't get me wrong. But she's had better singles, obviously. She didn't crack a top 5 with it.
Damn. That's shocking, given I feel like how much...
like controversy
and usually controversy is what's selling, and people are like wanting to click, wanting to listen, to be like, what is she up to, what is she doing, why is everyone talking about this?
Yeah, because that's kind of what happened with Bangers with
Exactly.
Can't Stop.
Exactly.
I feel like Bangers, though, like her performance at the VMAs was so polarizing.
Yeah.
Whereas like she looks like a completely different person. But during this era, I mean, obviously she looked way more mature than she had presented previously, but she still kind of looked like Miley. Like, she still had long hair.
It was just like, now there's eyeliner.
It's so true. Now there's eyeliner. Now she's smoking weed. Like, it was just giving like 17-year-old Miley Stewart. But the big controversy really at this time, and I don't know if you remember this or not, it jogged my memory doing research. On Britain's Got Talent, the semifinals, she performed Can't Be Tamed. She wore like the fishnets and boots. She would always, wear the whole outfits. And midway through the performance, she grabbed a female backup dancer, dipped her low, and simulated a kiss. Remember when she would, in the music video, she was like, "I'm not a brat like that," or she would kind of like she basically did that on stage, and it looked like she was kissing her backup dancer. And at the time, I mean, this is 2010.
Right.
She was come freshly out of Hannah Montana.
Right.
Pretty sure season 4 hadn't even like premiered yet.
That is
or it was premiering,
possible, yeah.
which was crazy. But a lot of negative reactions from the media, and she had to release a statement about it. Yeah, that she didn't kiss the backup dancer. She wrote, "It is ridiculous that two entertainers can't even rock out with each other without the media making it some type of story. I really hope my fans are not disappointed in me because the truth is I did nothing wrong. I got up there and did my job, which is to perform to the best of my ability."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait, that's fucked up that she had to say something about that. Well, it was a different time also. I mean, it doesn't make it any better, but like...
Yeah.
Jesus.
I love that she didn't like apologize though. She just kind of was
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
I love that she didn't do that. Interestingly enough, she goes on Jimmy Fallon in 2020 during the pandemic. They do like the at home interviews, right?
Yeah.
And he asks her what's her favorite old Miley song. And we gotta play the clip because it's actually like I kind of forgot this happened.
And then I realized that like I think the idea that I've changed, it's really far off. I actually haven't changed at all. I was totally warning people. You know, my first song, I Can't Be Tamed, is like, I want to fly, I want to drive, I want to go, you know, and I think that I still really relate to songs like that. It's that I want to be a part of something that I don't know, and if you try to hold me back, I'm bound to explode. By now, you should know that I can't be tamed. You know, and like, so I was already telling y'all that I was, you know, that something was about to happen, that I wasn't Hannah Montana, but so I still relate to those songs a lot. So I really love that record that I made, I Can't Be Tamed. That's one of my favorite songs.
I love that she calls it I Can't Be Tamed.
I know. I caught that too.
Yeah, that's like the first. She doesn't even know the actual. I mean, she wasn't far off, but yeah, she doesn't even know the actual title of the song. That was. I kind of cut it off to shorten it, but that was when Jimmy Fallon asked her what's one of her favorite old Miley songs.
I love that.
And she said Can't Be Tamed.
And it makes so much sense because this was seriously like such a pivotal moment in her career.
Absolutely. Yeah. Couldn't agree more. So yeah, we talked about how, you know, they did the music video was iconic, the outfits, like everything was just great about the music video. I mean, if you know, you know, we don't have to really dive too deep into the music video. What I thought was very interesting was that the dance routines in the music video were choreographed by Jamal Sims, who also choreographed the Hoedown Throwdown.
Okay, a versatile king.
That's exactly what I was thinking. When I saw that, I was like, wow, I had no idea that was a fact, but it is.
That is incredible.
Over 20 female and 20 male backup dancers were employed for the music video, and it premiered on May 4th, 2010 on E! News. Remember that? E! News?
Yeah.
E! News had me gagged.
I mean, you said we don't have to get into it, but here I am into it, actually. It was so iconic music video, the dancing.
No,
and then just like because of the dancing that she probably learned on set for the music video, the dancing we got on stage with it, the iconic march. I'm obsessed with the performances of Can't Be Tamed with when she's like, it's so specifically the one when she like walks down the stairs sideways, slays me.
Yes. And we posted that video.
Yes.
On our TikTok, and it blew up. It's like our most popular TikTok. Plug, go follow us on TikTok.
Yeah, because guess what? The more followers we get, then we could go live.
We can already go live.
Yeah. Oh my God, guys. Thanks.
Yeah. Miley actually does talk about the corset a little bit in the music video. So I have a small little clip.
You wear a corset, which is quite remarkably made out of metal and feathers and cost, I have to take a breath before I say this, $25,000.
Thank God I didn't pay for it.
$25,000. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't get to keep it either.
No, you don't get to keep it, so you're not wearing it right now.
No, I don't keep it on usually. That's why I wear so little, is it costs less.
Period.
She said that's why I wear so little, so it costs less. I will say, like, talking a little bit about the music video, she got so much criticism for it, obviously.
So much.
People weren't ready for her.
No. Because she's still in Montana at this point.
Yeah. So they asked her about this.
Of critics and magazines, the video is too sexy, too offensive. What's your comment on that? I love that music video. I think it looks great. And so I always do everything with no regrets. You know, if I'm happy with it, at the end of the day, you're the artist. So you're the one that goes in there and puts your time into it. So you're the one that should love it at the end of the day.
How do you like performing that sexy?
I really love, you know, I think my dancers are what really gives the sex appeal to the show. It's not necessarily me, it's how they move. And that's what, I like that style of movement. I like that style of dance. So, you know, we never make things trying to be shocking or to make people go, oh, wow, that's really sexy. But it's just about the vibe of a song, which this song couldn't really be done in any other way than a sexy song. It is sexy, this song.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
So what is that on her forehead?
What is that?
Yikes.
Anyway.
It's so funny. The one thing I noticed in that interview, though, she's giving such Joan Jett.
That's
Her
true.
voice got so much deeper during that.
Yeah, well, that one and then a couple others that we watched.
Yeah.
Like, she's raspy. Like, she has lost her voice from singing so hard.
Yeah. No, that's I noticed it.
But, like, her demeanor, it's like she doesn't really care and she's, like, really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely giving, like, we talked about that during Time of Our Lives, too.
Yeah.
Except Time of Our Lives, she was
really
more just,
did
like, chewing gum.
Yeah.
Here, you could definitely tell, like, okay, homegirl's been dabbling in the weed a little bit. She's totally mellowed out.
Yeah.
Like,
no, and you're right.
So
it's
good,
different than that one because in that press tour, she probably like, obviously she cared, but she even said like, I didn't write it. I don't know. And like, that's literally the attitude that she had. But with this, she does very much care about the music. And it's just the attitude that she's going for. And perhaps, yes, the herbal refreshments, if you will.
Yeah. And did you notice that was in Europe? I'm pretty sure that was what they said. And we'll get into it, but she did most of her press for this record, not in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you said.
Okay. Favorite lyric on Can't Be Tamed?
I'm not a brat like that.
Back before brat was being cool, like was cool, you know? I'm not a brat like that. Like, we can't, I don't feel that way now, but now it's like cool to be a brat. Yeah. Mine is I'm like a puzzle, but all of my pieces are jagged. If you can understand this, we can make some magic. I'm wrong like that. I just thought that was like really fun for her to say. And you know, it got the rats talking. Like
it did.
What do you mean you're wrong like that? You're Hannah Montana. You can't have sex. Yeah. Magic? Right. What kind of magic? You better be talking about Harry Potter.
You better be talking about a card trick, bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the little rabbit?
Yeah. I'm crying. Yeah. So Can't Be Tamed. Wow. What a time to be alive that was. Okay. Every rose has its thorn.
Every rose has its thorn. Every rose.
Cover of the Poison song. Now, this is a very monumental cover because I feel like this really starts her journey of covering music and like and making it hers.
You're right.
We talked about it a little bit, I guess, with Girls Just Want to Have Fun with Breakout. But like as I was doing research, I don't really feel like for Girls Just Want to Have Fun, I don't really feel like she even really talked to Cyndi Lauper about it. She didn't really get into it. With this, she went on Good Morning America with this man, with Bret Michaels. Oh. She really enthralled herself into the rock scene for this song.
Yeah.
First off, before we dive into the specifics about Bret Michaels and that history with the family, what were your thoughts on this when it came out? Like, what were you thinking? Did you like it? Did you even pay attention to it?
I didn't know that it was a cover.
Yeah.
Until I heard it, like an old man singing it in a bar.
Yeah.
And that's when it hit me. There's no way that old man is singing Miley Cyrus.
Yeah. Yeah. And Love Poison, Bret Michaels, you were great on Rock of Love, but I like this version better.
Hello, of course.
But that's hard to do. And I don't feel like I'm being biased. I genuinely think that this is a better version of it.
Yes, agreed.
But weirdly enough, this came right up at the time that Bret Michaels, the lead singer of Poison, was hospitalized in critical condition. after suffering a brain hemorrhage. Like he literally was going to like pass away. People thought he was going to pass away.
Oh my God.
So I think she talks about in an interview that she kind of had this arrangement happening and then he got sick. And then by the time the album came out, he was fine and he was able to go on
a
little bit of press with her. And Miley's first concert was a Poison concert when she was around 8 years old. Her mom Tish brought her because her mom loves the like 80s hair bands.
I am not surprised.
But I didn't know that. I'm like, wow, what a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. She told Ryan Seacrest in an interview that it's one of her mom's favorite songs, which is why she put it on the record for her mom. And yeah, Brett and Miley went on Good Morning America together to perform the song, and they did like a sit-down interview. And this is like, I need to play the clip because Brett talks so highly of Miley that I feel like this kind of just like I said, this was the beginning of her working with old men and like diving herself into like the rock scene, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Miley, I'll say this about Miley, though, truthfully. Yeah. The reason our families have been great friends for a while, and the thing about Miley, when we did Everett Rose, right, is she's a great musician, and she's got a great soul, and she can sing, and she's one of the people that will make that huge transition into remaining a superstar. Not that, I mean, she's a superstar.
That gotta, like, get out of the chair.
But she left me a big brown bag of money back there, or someone told her whatever. Yeah. No, but honestly, she's a great singer and a great musician, and that in the end, that's what it comes down to, having great songs and loving what you do.
Can she rock and roll?
She can rock it. Definitely rock it, for sure.
Predicted Plastic Hearts.
Hello.
Plastic Hearts prediction.
No, he literally said, like, she's going to be famous forever.
Like, she's a superstar. She can rock and roll.
He knew it.
He predicted it. Like, he's kind of a little crazy, but he's a little right about some things. Okay, so they also did another song around this time for his solo record called Nothing to Lose. And then he comes back up in fall of 2010 because Billy Ray filed for divorce from Tish. And rumors started flying around that it was because Tish had an affair with Bret Michaels. Remember that?
Yes.
We forget about that sometimes as a society.
We really do.
But it happened. And he denies it. Like I was looking back into the archives. Him and his team denied it. But yeah, I kind of believe it.
I kind of do. If they were going on press together, and obviously we know Tish was there with Miley, like something.
And Tish loved Poison.
And even I would say maybe if he's like denying it, he's denying like a physical relationship, but I'm sure there was some flirting. There had to have been some sort of emotional thing there.
Yep. So, wow. I just kind of dove into that when I was doing research for this, and I'm like, wow, totally forgot about that. Okay. This song, even though it's not hers, what's your favorite lyric from the song?
Oh, it would just probably be... like the knife that cuts you, the wound heals, but that scar remains. You're like,
true.
Yeah. Even if you're over it, the scar is still there.
Yeah. Even if you forgive, you can't forget.
Exactly.
So mine is mostly because of how she performs this live, this lyric. I know I could have saved our love that night if I had known what to say. Instead of making love, we both went our separate ways.
Yeah. This song fits so well on this album.
It's so good. She really makes it her own.
Yeah, you like I said, I mean, just little old me, but I was fooled, and I think that a lot of people could be fooled into thinking that was Miley's song.
Yeah. And here's your homework, everyone.
Okay.
Go watch her House of Blues performance from this era. It really, like, she performs Heavy Rose. She performs Who Owns My Heart. She performs a lot of the songs off of this album. It's like a 30-minute performance. But she performs at the House of Blues. I feel like it's 2010. But her singing this cover at that performance is everything. And it made me fall in love with this cover the most.
Love it.
Okay, track number 5, Two More Lonely People. Weirdly enough, I feel like the front half of this album is very much like poppy bops, and then the second half is deep cuts. The second half is like mostly just her and John Shanks writing.
Oh, okay.
Whereas the first half of the album, there's a lot of writers. Okay, Two More Lonely People. Definitely an album track is what you say, right?
You think
What
so?
do you say?
This is one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, but no one knows this one unless you're a fan.
It's true.
Okay, so this is one of your favorites. Why?
Yeah. I just love it. I think that the beats are so fun to dance to, but I don't know. I just Two more lonely people
in the world tonight. Yeah, I mean there was in some of these later tracks, there's definitely not as much to report on just because she hasn't talked about them that much. But obviously it's about a relationship. It was rumored to be about Nick Jonas, but I would argue that it could have been written about Liam because they were very much on and off. My favorite lyric on this one is, I need to feel your heartbeat when you say you love me. Bitch.
Yes, because yes.
Like, yeah. Like, if it's not... Oh, the acoustic? Yeah, that's actually so good. Like, she didn't have to throw that acoustic in there, and she just threw it in there.
It's so good. I love every part of this song.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a great song that deserves more attention and more, I need more history and, like, I need to know what this is about.
Yeah.
What's your favorite lyric?
Mine is, I remember way back in the day, this was like literally our like second or third episode ever. Just take my word for it. Don't go back and listen. And we did this and we went through the albums and we did our like lyrics, I think. And I remember picking these and talking about them. But they're the same for me. It's the part, we don't have to be friends. We don't have to be enemies because like there's no reason that we like with your ex, like you don't need to stay friends with them. And you also don't need to be enemies. Like the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. So it's just like, well, we're just like indifferent lonely people now, and that's like, we don't need to like remain being friends. There's like, that's bullshit. But we also don't need to be enemies. That's, you know, who cares?
Yeah, like we don't need to hate each other.
Yeah,
just like move on. Yeah, for sure. It's a deep song.
No, it is, and it's another deep one that it's just like, I'm dancing.
Yeah. Okay. Track number 6, Forgiveness and Love.
The only thing that our hearts are made of.
Definitely an album track.
Yes.
She did. This is a big fan favorite though. She did perform it live at the 2010 American Music Awards, which very interesting that she chose this song to perform there. What are your thoughts on this one?
Definitely an album track that I haven't gotten into until like more recently, but I think that it is one of my like top 5 on the album sometimes.
Really? Yeah. I don't have any strong feelings against it or with it. I don't know if it's one of my top 5s. But my favorite lyric off of it is, I can't tell you what the future holds or how to live. All I know is what feels right lights up my life again and again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
In this era, like, just to briefly talk about it, she was really into her, not hippie, like, I feel like this was the start of her love is love hippie vibe. Like, that like, spiritual thinking, you know?
For sure.
And that comes across in her performing this song, and then also there's another song on the album, My Heart Beats for Love, and then also her going on a tour titled Gypsy Heart Tour.
Right. Ooh.
And all of the branding.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. But I think she didn't intend for it to be, you know.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. But
she did it for the art, like, obviously.
She thought that it was just like, she liked the vibes, I think.
Yeah, and somehow it made it through everyone else on her team. But
it was 2010.
And that's also very true. Exactly.
It was a different time.
Yeah, no, it was. My favorite lyric is, the story begins again and again with forgiveness and love, because it does.
Yeah. And her singing that part, the story, like when she belches again and again, so good. Especially live. Ugh.
And it's so true, because it's like every single day you have to choose to, like, when you're in love, you have to choose to forgive that person, like, almost every single day.
with forgiveness and
you
love.
just keep moving on with the story. Yeah.
Accurate. Track number 7, Permanent December. It's a song about realizing that the old love was true and she wants it back.
'Cause baby, now I realize that I was wrong.
Why does this song make me laugh so hard?
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to be a hater.
Why?
I love it.
This song is hilarious.
I love it.
London, been to Paris.
It's so cunty.
And Rome. It is really cunty. I think that she's not giving vocals at all.
Yeah, it's definitely very auto-tuned.
Yeah.
She was dipping her toes in like the Kesha vibes that were very trendy at the time.
She goes, wrong. And I'm like, whoa, girl.
Yeah, she was definitely experimenting. This was one of those trial runs, I think. Like, does she like this kind of music?
Yeah.
You know what was very controversial about this song was the lyric, "Don't call me a Lolita 'cause I don't let them through." Lolita is a name given to promiscuous women.
Oh my
particularly
God.
those on the younger age, on the younger end of the age spectrum.
Lolita.
Lolita. I remember
But that line is so fun when she sings it.
it's so fun, and I will be completely honest. How old was I? Like 13. I didn't know what that was.
No.
And I was belching that.
Yes.
Maybe that's why it was so controversial.
Probably.
Because we had no idea. It's such a cunty song.
I'm looking at
It
the
really
lyrics
is.
and I have to laugh.
You know,
But do I have this on my Christmas playlist? Yes, because it's about December. Hello.
yeah. It's up there with Remember December by Demi Lovato for me.
Yes.
All the girlies were singing about December. Oh, and Back to December by T Swift.
Yeah.
All released within a year of each other.
What was going on in December?
Suspicious. Spoiler alert. That was my favorite lyric. But don't call me a Lolita because I don't let it through. Because it's so like I love the lyrics that are causing chaos.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, mine is without my baby, I go crazy and I just gotta scream.
Ah! And then she screams.
Yes.
She was bringing that
Stupid.
kicking and screaming from Time of Our Lives.
Literally.
Yeah. The song did earn a mixed reaction from critics. Some liked the production while others called it dull, not finish. And many disliked the auto-tune vocals. But some did like the rappy verses. Guess what? Baker's prediction.
You think?
She kind of predicted bangers with this one.
Okay. That's a very hot take.
No, it was just like the, kind of the rappy verses. Like,
That's
the
true.
cuntiness
That's
of it.
true. That's true. And that is something new. You're right, that we haven't seen.
Something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're getting into the good shit now. Track number 8 is Stay.
I love you more than I did before. And if today
It explores Cyrus's breakup and the irresistible desire to be with her once lover again. What are your thoughts on this?
This is
iconic
one
song?
of the best Miley deep cuts.
It is up there with the underrated that Space Boots has. This is also just as underrated.
Yeah, you're right.
This is Space Boots' sister. I agree. I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're like in parallel universes. They are BFFs.
Yeah.
The songs are. What's really crazy about this song is that in 2019, on June 11th, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure she's said before, June 11th is her and Liam's anniversary of getting together.
Uh-huh.
Also, anniversary of her and Nick Jonas that she confirmed in her book. So she has the same date anniversary with 2 men. And then she posts this on her Twitter on June 11th, 2019. She says,
2019?
yeah, this was the year her and Liam separated.
Oh, God.
So she was going through it. And she posted a screenshot of this song. And I'll put it in the clip if you're watching. But it says, America's 15-year-old deep emo country ass sweetheart. I remember writing this song the first day I learned a C on the piano. Since then, I've written 20 songs that sound exactly like this one, but they've become mostly about dead animals. This is a huge fan favorite song. Like,
it's so good.
And she did sing this in 2022 on her socials. I don't know if you remember her posting that clip. She was in Paraguay. Yeah, her festival show got canceled due to the extreme weather. Paraguay made Stay number 1 on iTunes. Like, all the fans in Paraguay made it number 1. And so she tweeted, I wish I could have stayed and performed for all of my fans in Paraguay. Please stay safe. I love you. Also, if you can't tell, I'm a little sick. I think just super exhausted from the stress of yesterday. Got a few days to recover before Brazil. I'm going to plug it anyway, so I thought we would just watch it.
This song is for all of my fans in Paraguay who I missed out on seeing due to the festival being canceled because of weather, a terrifying plane experience, and you all made Stay number 1 for me, so this is for you. Well, it's good to hear your voice. I hope you're
And obviously, we won't listen to the whole thing, but this was so iconic.
I'm lonely here tonight.
Because we hadn't heard her sing that in so long.
So long.
And time keeps slipping by. And if I could have just one wish, I'd have you by my side.
So, what is your favorite lyric from Stay?
The lyrics are like so sad. They're all so sad that it like feels weird to pull one, but I don't know. I like it when she says, well, I try to live without you, but tears fall from my eyes. That's so sad.
That is really sad.
And it's sad if you can relate. And I did once.
I feel like a lot of us have, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's kind of a similar lyric. Mine's, I'm lost here in this moment and time keeps slipping by. And if I could have just one wish, I'd have you by my side.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and that's so sad too.
They're all very, very sad songs. Also, fun fact about this song is that for her Gypsy Heart tour, she wasn't originally going to perform this song on her set list, but after so many requests from fans, she added it to the set list, like last minute.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Next song is Scars.
If I could have just one night to be with you.
And again, weirdly about this song is in the same kind of thread she posted about Stay. She also on June 11th, 2019 posted about Scars. And she said, I remember how I felt writing this. A lot of pain and heartbreak. Didn't know where to put all that hurt. And sometimes made choices that were not worthy. I didn't know I was greater than what I was going through. That's just growing up, I guess. I was a young girl with more power than I knew to use for good. Wish I could go back and tell me it's going to be okay and that I was loved. Crying in the club. I feel like these two songs are like, they mean a lot to her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this song. I think I'm not a big fan of the production.
Agreed. This song, the lyrics deserved a little bit better, I think. Because this is not really a song I go to a lot, but like looking at the lyrics again, it's like, oh no, because this is so good.
It's a really good lyrically, it's a great song. But yeah, this is one of those that I think the production should have been a little different.
Yeah.
Kind of mirrored out how deep the song was. And maybe they were just like, well, Stay is too deep. We don't want too deep, very deep cuts. But I go back to this a lot. What was your favorite lyric?
I think it would be, you don't have to wonder what we are because you won't have to ever look too far. It's in the scars.
That's mine too. I
have
that written down too. Yeah. Because you won't have to ever look too far. It's in the scars.
Yeah.
Track number 9. Take Me Along. I love this song.
Okay, this song is like, this is another one that like nobody knows about, but it really is so good. And I think that this is a fan favorite too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
in May 2020, even though she was not originally credited on the song. And I remember this happening. Brandy Cyrus went on Sorry We're Stoned podcast, and she said that she wrote Take Me Along on a tour bus with Miley, and that the song was about Nick Jonas. And she said she wrote it while on the Best of Both Worlds tour with Miley on her bus.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I remember talking about that.
Yeah. And it was also revealed that the track was inspired by the same melody of the Jonas Brothers song, Fly With Me. So lyrically, it was written back in 2007. Production-wise, obviously, the lyrics, the writing was saved for this album. They decided to put it out. But yeah, such a good song. What's your favorite lyric?
Oh, what's yours?
I ask myself, is this love at all? When I need you most, you let me fall. Just because it's such a heartbreaking lyric and it makes me feel something.
Yeah, this one, Take My Hand, I'm bleeding tears. Ow.
Ow. Very, very deep lyrics there. And to think that she was like 14 writing some of these lyrics.
Right.
She was going through it.
Yeah, the poor thing.
Poor thing. Okay, we're getting into the end of the album. We ramp it back up with track number 10, Robot. Everyone's favorite, right? This is like,
is everyone in the room with
I don't
us?
claim. Robot. Clap if you care. Clap if you care about Robot. Anyway, let's move on. I'm just kidding. No, we will not piss off people. We will give it, I did write some things down for this. So obviously Robot was kind of similar to Liberty. Well, we thought was similar to Liberty Walk, but it's about setting free and getting away from Disney. And it's her taking back her life.
Yeah.
She says in the song, stop trying to live my life for me. I'm not your robot, at Disney Channel.
Yeah. And so everything that we've said so far about this, it's like, yeah, it's like, is this a song that we go back to listen to a lot? No. But like, did she need to release this from what she was going through? Yeah.
She needed to do this. Yeah. This was definitely something she needed to do. Not that she did do it for herself, not for the world, really. It was kind of therapeutic, I'm sure. The album's theme was too provocative for Disney, so Disney refused to promote this album extensively, unlike obviously Breakout and Meet Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
But she actually talks about this song a lot in a lot of the press that she was doing for this record.
This one song that's called Robot, and it's about like not letting people tell you who you like shouldn't or should be, and about people that try to tell you this is what you need to sell, this is the audience you're going for, look relatable. It's like, I am relatable. I'm like, I love when people are like, really sell this record as a 17-year-old girl. I'm like, yeah, let me go put my like wig on and go change my face because I'm not a 17-year-old girl. Like, it's like I hate that when it's like, what makes you normal? It's like that I am normal. So that's what the song's kind of about. Not listening to that, but just being who you are.
She was told how to be half of her life, like Hannah Montana. That was just, she was told who to be, and then that ended up like becoming her personality and what everyone thought that she was in the media. And yeah, I can understand why this song would be important to her.
Yeah, this is also another one that I'm like, production just kind of killed it for me.
Yeah.
But my favorite lyric, there's nothing left inside, just rusted metal that was never even mine. That one was kind of like, oof, that hurt a little bit.
Yeah, and that's a deep lyric for like a song that doesn't like seem to be that deep. It's like very much, it's like surface level writing, I would say. Like you can understand what it means, but that one's pretty deep. Yeah. I like I can move, I can speak without somebody else operating me. Period.
Yeah, duh. Okay, track number 11, My Heart Beats for Love. This is a big fan favorite. I know it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, it shows how she feels about the world. That love is for everybody. We listened to a clip earlier in this episode about her talking about this. Obviously, she wrote it for her hairdresser who's gay.
Yeah.
And you got to think about at this time, 2010, that was still a very new thing, like that. Not that gay was a new thing, but like being so open about it and being supportive. Like very different than what it is now. And then she ended up singing the song 10 years later in 2021 for her Stand By You Pride special on Peacock and NBC.
Yeah.
Which the girlies, the Twitter fans, everybody was going crazy when that happened.
Mm-hmm. No, I do really love this song. It's like a ballad that I go to a lot. I really like it when she says, "Standing here with my flag held high, oh, can't you see that it's worth the fight?"
That was my favorite lyric too.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, can't you see that it's worth the fight? Because it is.
Whoa. Yeah, and the backing vocals like that she layers. Oh, so good. Okay. So that was the last track on the album. However, there was a digital edition of this album that featured a bonus track that I would be remiss to not speak about because as a Miley podcast, we got to get all the details in. Can't Be Tamed, Rock Angels remix features rapper Lil Jon.
What? Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, I forgot about this. I think I briefly knew about this way back in the day.
I had to have too, but I can't think of one thing about it.
I think I tuned it out of my memory, like for my own mental health. Yeah, it's really not good.
Oh.
But Lil Jon said the collaboration was crazy.
I'm sure
and
it was.
He thought audiences would enjoy the remix. I have to laugh. And then Miley added, he just came in and let it out. It's pretty rockin'. They believe Lil Jon gave the remix more energy than the original version had. And my favorite lyric, and I don't expect you to have a favorite lyric from this, but my favorite lyric from this remix, which he has like a few things that he throws in there, you know, as Lil Jon. Hey, yo, Miley, I don't know why they don't let you grow up, baby.
Miley, I don't know why they don't want you to grow up, baby. You gotta let them know.
Gagging, throwing up, gross.
Oh my god.
So, homework number two from this episode. If you want to have a laugh, go listen to that remix.
That's insane.
We will be streaming the original.
Yes.
Is that clear? Yeah.
Yes.
So, I had to throw that in there as the bonus track that it was. And before we get into our top 5 to finish off this incredible episode, briefly mentioning the tour that surrounded this album was the Gypsy Heart Tour that we mentioned earlier. It started on April 29th, 2011 and went until July 2nd, 2011. And she didn't do it in the US at all. Initial tour dates were announced in South America, and then dates in Australia, the Philippines, Costa Rica, Mexico soon followed. And then during an interview with OK, she said that she would not bring the tour to the United States due to feeling uncomfortable to perform in the US because there were so many media outlets that were like criticizing Miley at the time, especially in the United States. Many media outlets believe this was due to Cyrus's personal life. So,
wow.
I mean, you also got to think, I think her parents were going through a rough time.
Yeah.
During this stint, but she made it kind of clear that, like, I just don't feel like she felt welcomed in America with how much, you know, she was just getting a lot of, like, criticism for
sure
breaking out of Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
I forget about it sometimes, but this was the calm before the storm when Bangers came out.
Truly.
So, but also we talk about it all the time that Miley never performs in other countries, and I'm glad that at least for this tour, like they had a tour dedicated to not being in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, which is nuts, actually. I didn't really realize that.
Yeah. Okay. Top 5. I feel like we need to go. Let's start with 5.
No, don't stress me out. I can't do it in order.
Wait, what?
I can't do it in order. Can't I just yell out all 5?
Okay, I'll start with my number 5.
Okay, fine.
My number 5 is Scars. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is 2 More Lonely People.
Okay, yeah. My number 4 is Can't Be Tamed.
Mine is Who Owns My Heart.
Wow, I was kind of shitting on Can't Be Tamed. I can't believe I put that in my number 4. My number 3 is Take Me Along.
My number 3 is Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Okay.
Am I allowed to do that?
I know. I didn't do it just because it was a cover, but I think so. She kind of made it her own. Okay, my number 2 is Stay.
My number 2 is also Stay.
Okay, your number 1 is, let's say the count of 3. I'm guessing what your number 1 is.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Can't be tamed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what my number 1 is?
Who Owns My Heart? Did you say that yet?
Yes. Yeah. Ours are kind of similar.
Yeah, they really were.
Yeah. Because those are the elite songs.
Of course.
If you're on YouTube, drop your top 5 from this album in the comments below. Or if you're on Spotify, I think you can leave a comment on episodes now. So do that.
Yeah.
But thanks so much, guys, for hanging in here for this long episode. It is a deep dive. So our deep dives are probably going to be a little longer than usual.
Yeah.
Especially as we get into the album. This was only 12 tracks.
You know what I'm scared of? Yes, saying that being said, Dead Pets. I think that might be 3 or 4 episodes long.
We could break it up into 2 parts, I think, for sure.
Yeah. But we may have to.
Yeah, we may have to. Make sure to like this podcast on YouTube. Follow us on all the socials. We're active on TikTok. I'm gonna see Becky soon. So
oh my God, it's literally so soon.
Like in a week or 2? 2 weeks?
I think it's
2
1.
weeks. Almost 1 week. Wow.
Yeah.
So we're gonna record probably an in-person episode, hopefully.
Me.
And we're gonna get it right this time. As in me.
Yeah.
The producer's gonna get it right this time, and it's gonna sound great. It'll be on all the platforms. So, anything else, Becky, today?
That's it. I was goofing around that you guys were beating down our doors for this episode, but it really is so special that you care enough that you want to hear what we have to say about this, and it's just so fun.
I agree. It's really fun doing these deep dives, and I know everyone's then going to be excited for us to go into bangers.
Mm-hmm.
However, we have other deep dive ideas.
Yeah.
And we're not in a rush to finish the albums. We're not. We have so many ideas. So we might do another deep dive soon that's not an album. So stay tuned for that.
Whatever that means.
And really quickly though, Miley's band was rehearsing for something.
Guys.
So who knows? In a week or so, maybe we might find out some news. So our next episode is to be decided on what happens.
Yeah.
Because you just never know.
You never do.
Okay. Well, thanks, Becky.
Thank you for putting all the research together.
Oh my God, of course. Thank you for so everyone, Becky had a very long week. She did 12-hour days every day. We're recording this on a Friday night just to get it done and start editing on it. So
yeah.
She really gave her whole Becca-sy into this.
Oh, I did my best. I did it for the fans, so.
Yes, and for Mylene.
Of course. Number 1.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day, night. Peace out.